Hi and welcome to all the racing enthusiasts around the globe joining us for this meeting at Turffontein. It is a double header. We are racing at Hollywoodbets Greyville, where we have the feature races, and alongside we'll be partnering up with Turffontein. And this is where Alistair Cohen comes in. Firstly, Alistair, how are you doing? And it looks to be a tremendous Saturday with the double header.
Oh, it's a feast of racing. Hello, Sheldon. Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks. Trust you and the viewers are doing well as well. Hope everything's going according to plan. Look, there's absolutely no doubt that the target A is Hollywoodbets Greyville on this Saturday, but nothing wrong with this card at Turffontein. There are 10 races, early start at both meetings. Obviously, Hollywoodbets Greyville gets till 15 minutes before the Turffontein meeting, but yeah, there's something for everyone, I think, on both cards. I think the feature races in KZN, I think punters will be looking to go pretty light, and I think punters that are looking for a bit of a payout might be in store for something at Turffontein. So, like I said, something for everybody.
Well, 20 races between the two centres, so let's get straight into it. Race number 1, where we have the odds-on favourite, number 1, Believe in Fate, priced up at 6 to 10. Number 2, Benak, is 33 to 10, and along with number 3, Bourbon Reserve. Now tell us about number 1, Believe in Fate, Muzieni for the Joey Soma stable.
I was at the Val when this horse made his debut, Sheldon. I spoke to Joey Soma for a good 10 minutes before a race was run. We were chatting about life, and he had two first-timers who ran. One of them ran at Turffontein on Thursday called Serrano and ran a nice place. And the other one is this horse, Believe in Fate. And I asked Joey what he thought, knowing that he doesn't set up first-timers, doesn't have a go on first-timers, let them come on naturally. And he likes this horse, Believe in Fate. And I promise you, the first half of the 1,200-metre debut was absolutely awful, but the second half was very encouraging. Never mind the 400 to finish. I think the 200 to finish. The final furlong was lightning quick. He caught the eye. Drawn towards the inside down the stand side track, not ideal, but only 7 runners, so I don't think he'll have to be too sharp to get over from an inside draw. And I think that I would have thought he might have been a little bit longer than odds on, but that's the price he is. Obviously not getting away from bookmakers with what he showed first time out. I think the betting's pretty much right. I mean, I can't see 4, 5, 6 or 7 troubling numbers 1, 2 and 3, but that's my order of preference. 1, 2 and 3 to start off, but number 1, Believe in Fate, no doubt the horse they all need to beat.
Right, now on to race number 2, where Katiwe's Destiny is drifting from 13 to 10 out 16 to 10. A horse who just needed the experience. And number 5, Rodeo Drive, from 5 to 2 down 2 to 1. And then we have number 7, Silver Parasol at 3 to 1. Fiery Pegasus at 7 to 2. So just looking at the betting, Alistair, there's a little bit of congestion in the market here and a little bit of support for number 5.
Yeah, indirect lines of form here, Sheldon, using Simply Majestic as my line. Rodeo Drive finished 2 lengths behind Simply Majestic, and the horse who beat Katiwe's Destiny, Stars and Bras, finished about the same margin behind Simply Majestic on Saturday in a feature race. So not really comparing apples and apples, but the only line and the only gauge that we've got, I think, puts number 5, Rodeo Drive, in a pretty good light here. Rest of 126 days, not exactly something that I'll be jumping up and down about. And also the breeding suggests that, never mind 800 meters, I was shocked to see her run an 800 meter race on debut, but I'd also, you would have expected 1160 to still be on the sharp side for number 5, Rodeo Drive. So if she comes back without too many scratches after a long rest, then I think that she might be the right one. Probably less confident than what I am in the first race with my top selection here. I'm sidestepping number 4, Katiwe's Destiny. I think that I'll just qualify her as a place chance. If she ran second or third, I wouldn't be surprised, but from a win perspective, I'll be looking elsewhere. 3, Fiery Pegasus has definitely got scope to improve. The VJ's Angel form, though, is very, very quiet. This is a full sister to Shango, who of course won the Dingons, won a few other feature races throughout his career. So again, a horse that I think will come into her own with a little bit further, with a little bit more time, but I think that she can finish a bit closer than the 5.5 lengths that she did first time out. And 7, Silver Parasol, definitely got scope to improve. There was a lot of money for her first time out. She was horribly inexperienced. She tries pacifiers second time out. To me, that's a few alarm bells ringing after 97 days off the track. They all have their weaknesses here, Sheldon. At a push, number 5, Rodeo Drive, my top selection. Start of the bar pot. I'll go with 3 runners here. 3, 5, and 7 in my bar pot.
Now, your suggested bet for the day is the place accumulator, which commences in race number 3. And let's kick off with the favourite, number 10, Wild at War. Philisanda Mxoli for the Candace Dawson stable at 11 to 10. And you'll be able to tell us a bit more exactly how Wild at War is doing back home.
I'm surprised he hasn't won yet. That's the main point. Obviously, Philisanda Mxoli rode a treble at Turffontein on Thursday. Candace had one runner, one winner. The horse's work is far better than his form. Last time, like I said, I was at the VAR that day when I spoke to Joey Soma, and the expectations were that Wild at War would run well. The form's obviously worked out nicely with 2 direct winners, and the winner won more, looking like he's above average. But in the parade ring, we all kind of looked at each other and said, oh, we're in trouble. Was just right that run off. He's better than that. I think he's found the right type of race here. The horse that interests me most is the first time, number 8, Halcyon, son of Gimme the Green Light, out of a very well performed mare. Johan Janssen van Vuren trains. Henny Kraling, who does a lot of work for Johan back at home. You know, the fact that a lot of good jockeys are going to be at Hollywoodbets Greyville, including stable jockey Gavin Larena. You know, the next guy that Johan would use, with everyone being in Durban, Craig Zaki, another example, would be Henny Kraling, because of the work that he does for Johan. So don't read too much into that. It's not like their expectations are low. If the horse has got any ability, he'll run well. Number 8, Halcyon. There's very little form to get excited about otherwise. I'm hoping that Wild at War's found the right race to get out the maidens. Brechart, 14-run maiden. Trips Estates, 14-run maiden. Lord Danon Platina's going the wrong way. I'm looking for reasons here. I think number 10, Wild at War's found the right time. For me, in the place accumulator, I've gone 8 and 10 with Halcyon and Wild at War. I'd expect to double up.
Well, moving on to race number 4. Once again, the 2-year-olds will dominate when it comes to the betting perspective. And you've taken your chances and you've bankered number 10 from the Mike de Kock stable.
I have, Sheldon. She is dropping in distance, and she's related to a horse that Lucky Hudalakis trained, who won the Track and Ball Oaks a few years ago, called Seville Orange. So there's a reason to be skeptical. Look, in my place accumulator, my suggested bet, I'm happy to bank in number 10, Oxalis Gold, because I can't see her missing the first 3. But I think there are vulnerabilities when it comes to a win, and I think her price might be a little bit flattering to her, and probably doing a bit of a disservice to some other horses who I think are open to improve. Those horses being number 7, Tana Marie, the daughter of Trippy. I expect huge improvement, and in fact, I think she could even win the race over number 10, Oxalis Gold. And then other horse, number 11, Pointer, a daughter of Canford Cliffs, Alec Laird going along nicely. Diego de Gavea takes her out, drawn towards the extreme outside. Even though the form line looks flattering, Sheldon, I'm not convinced it's an A-grade form line, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Pointer in this type of race kick on and confirm that first run and go close, if not winning. So it's a complicated race. I think in the place accumulator, you could probably bank any one of the 3, and I think this is probably a race for a box trifecta. Not that you're going to get too rich boxing up 7, 10 and 11, but the point I'm trying to make is that I think the favourite's a bit too short, and I think if the favourite does end up running 3rd, you might get a little bit of a boost in that trifecta dividend.
It'll take us on to race number 5, and the last couple of races would have noticed the betting quite congested. 2 to 1 about number 1, 5 to 2 number 2, and then 4 to 1 about number 10. I see you selected numbers 1 and 3 for your place accumulator, Alistair.
I have, and not with a great degree of confidence in tipping a winner here, Sheldon. One Rosora Finale is well overdue and very, very disappointing. I'd hesitate to say that this is his best chance. I think he's found some reasonable maidens along the way, some good maiden fields along the way, but I don't think that this is too shallow, because they just, if you look at the profiles of them, Deception Pass ready to win, Battle of Barberton's got the right profile, Caliburn, it's a matter of time for him. Chieftain Shield, I think, is worth another chance in time. Sakurajima, I think, is another horse that has got the credentials to at least run well, especially on his debut run behind Legend of Arthur, who for me would be a huge chance in the mile race on Gold Cup Day on what I've seen so far. So I think Rosaro Finale might have his work cut out and might have to wait another day to win a maiden, but with that said, I wouldn't be overly surprised. It's a complete contrast in opinion here with number 1 Rosaro Finale. My top choice, funny enough, is going to be the Azzy runner with Pierre Stradom on board, drawn 1. Number 3, Battle of Barberton, ran 4th to Salute the Flag last time out. He went to the front and he faded quite tamely on the face of it, but when you call up that form line, it's a very, very powerful form line, and these are the reasons why it's powerful. Running 4th to Salute the Flag, Mastership, who ran 2nd, came out and won, but a horse who ran 4 lengths behind, Mocha Frappe, who needed to run quite badly, won, and the word out of the yard, out of Alec Lairds' yard with Mocha Frappe, are very positive for the future. So I think that holds number 3, Battle of Barberton, in good stead. I think it's also a good sign that Stradom retains the ride. He probably needed his 2 runs back, coming back from a 4-month layoff. I think the case for number 3, Battle of Barberton, is quite strong here. I'm definitely going to tip him on top of number 2, Deception Pass, because of that indirect piece of form, beating Mocha Frappe, and Mocha Frappe beating Deception Pass. So I think number 3, Battle of Barberton, whatever price he is, he's well overpriced here. So in the PA, 1 and 3, pick 6, 1, 3 and 10, I think.
Then moving along to race number 6, and quite an interesting move here. You've elected to sidestep the top 3 in the betting, and you've gone with the 4th and 5th horses in the betting. Number 3, Arlington Action, and number 4, Claw. Alistair?
I don't know how the betting stacked up with that in mind, Sheldon, because I think that I'm on the right track here. Is Mumbo toward the top of the boards?
Yes, number 7, Silvano's Song, and number 2, Mambo Come Teseo, travelling at around 33 to 10 and 7 to 2.
Okay, I don't understand how Mambo Come Teseo can beat Arlington Action. I mean, I respect the chances of number 2, Mambo Come Teseo. Initially, when looking at the race, you know, he makes some appeal, gets Raymond Danielson on board, going what should be a better trip. But on the 29th of February, this being a leap year, Arlington Action finished in front of Mambo Come Teseo and comes in here remarkably better weighted. Sure, I'm surprised at that market. And also, when you consider that Arlington Action is another horse that is well tried over this distance and performed well over this distance. I remember I really liked him that day, actually, on the 29th of February on the Turffontein inside track, and I knew that I was dead in the water when I saw the market and he was drifting like that, and I knew that the followers of the show were in a bit of trouble. His next start was better, finishing 3rd behind Poor Little Rich Girl, a mare who I think is better than anyone, or was as well performed as anyone in this race, and it's just been a slow burn, and he's come to hand. Out of his last run, only got £3 from the handicapper. He's a pretty strong top selection as number 3, Arlington Action, so I think the market and the bookmakers are being quite generous there. And then number 4, Claw, stepped up last time in distance to win over 2,000 metres. This will be a lot harder. I'm under no illusions about that, but as he's deemed him good enough to go down to Cape Town, he ran less than 3 lengths behind Lightning Glow. Lightning Glow has got a fair amount of quality about him. You've seen him down in KZN. All the form lines are working out well. He finished in front of Taxhaven. For me, he's a huge question mark as Taxhaven because of his run in the South African Derby, which took him to a rating of nearly 100, and his next run in the Maiden, which was awful, where he ran to about a 62. So who knows how to judge Taxhaven, but Claw beats him, stepping up in distance, first run as a gelding. He's done little wrong, and he's clearly developing, and he's got a lot more to come than quite a few of these exposed horses. I'm happy with my numbers here, numbers 3 and 4 in the place accumulator.
Well, that'll take us on to race number 7, and when you look at race number 7, at this stage of the game, there's 11 runners carded to race, and you've gone with 4 runners here, which tells the tale.
Yeah, this was hard. This is not easy at all. Top choice number 3, Celestial City, is clearly nowhere near as good as his much vaunted older brothers, Rainbow Bridge, Hawam, and Golden Ducat. But Sean Terry has taken a leap of faith and entered him in the Hollywoodbets Durbanville. He is absolutely nowhere near the cut yet, and neither is he certain to stay the trip. But a win here would definitely be a step in the right direction. Might be a small step, but it's a step all the same. Has got the disadvantage of an awful draw. There's only one horse deeper than him, so it's not going to be straightforward for number 3, Celestial City. But Cabello Matsanyani, A, is riding very well, and B, rides this horse very well. 4 of his 5 career wins have come under KB, so number 3, Celestial City, you know, it deserves this place towards the top of the boards and deserves to be a top choice. But with numbers 1, 4, and 5 as backup, number 1, Good Queen Bess, I've always been flummoxed and puzzled and bluffed by this daughter of Kingman. Muzieni is on board for Michael de Kock. I would prefer a softer track. There's absolutely no chance of a soft track at Turffontein probably anytime soon, but has been running in feature races at her last two. She's got a good turn of foot. When she's in the mood, she can outrun just about anyone, certainly at this level. So that makes number one, Good Queen Best, quite appealing. 4 Jury's Out is on the up. Life's getting a little bit harder, but he's workmanlike. All the form of his last run behind when beating Master Christmas is working out fairly well. Dennis Schwarz was very quick to get on the phone, obviously spotting an opportunity with a whole lot of jockeys down in Durban. Ignore the run on the Turffontein inside track. He hates a tight turning course. He's better on a more galloping track. Although he's doing very well at home, whether he's got the class to beat Celestial City remains to be seen, but he'll run well. And number 5, Bonetta, back to 1,400 meters. This smacks of a back to the drawing board. It might work, it might not work at all. I'd keep safe of number 5, Bonetta, because there's no doubt that she has a fair amount of ability, but it's just not being unlocked at the moment. Maybe the drop in distance will help her along.
Stepping on the gas to race number 8, and you were chatting about Kabela Matsinyane doing exceptionally well. He rides for the Brett Crawford stable, number 1 Cullinan Blue, currently at 28-10, which is the second favourite. Number 6 Elegant Ice is at 22-10 with the 56 kilograms. However, you look to banker number 1 Cullinan Blue with 62 kilograms on the back.
Yeah, Sheldon, I was looking for reasons to not bank a number 1 Cullinan Blue, but what swayed me was the last run in the Betway Swallow Stakes, where she finished less than a length behind Troppo Veloce. Crucially, she ran behind One Fell Swoop. One Fell Swoop went on and won the Betway National Currency. One Fell Swoop went on and won the Sycamore Sprint, and One Fell Swoop last week ran 4th in the Grade 2 Camellia Stakes. So if using One Fell Swoop as a metric and as a gauge, never mind the fact that she was behind One Fell Swoop, and never mind the fact that she's got to give weight away, I think One Fell Swoop would be miles better than anyone here. One Fell Swoop beating Flower Bomb, One Fell Swoop finishing just in front of Chrome Tourmaline. I think all of that, stands number 1 Cullinan Blue in very good stead. Also got an outsidish draw down the straight, which is going to be a big help for this daughter of Vercingetorix as well. I think that there's every chance that she'll defy top weight. When you look around at the Dages, I think number 6 Elegant Ice has always stretched over 1160, although she's placed over the distance. She's absolutely at her best over 1,000 meters. And then there's just tried and tested horses that I don't think are going anywhere quickly. At least we've got feature race formula with number 1 Cullinan Blue. I'm prepared to banker her everywhere.
Then we'll go on to race number 9, where you have gone with 3 runners in the place accumulator, numbers 1, 2 and 6. And the only market mover in the race is number 1 War Queen, who has shortened from 10-1 down 7-1.
I wonder if that's not doubles from the Lucky Hoodalaka's Tony Moodley winner at Turffontein on Thursday in the former sneak preview. There's a lot to like about this daughter of Active War. She too's got a heavy weight, but she's drawn towards the outside down the straight, so that's going to be a big advantage for her chances. I was sort of tentative whether she would be as effective over 1,200 meters than over 1,000 meters because of the natural speed that she shows. But with time, she's lost some of that speed and she's been able to see it out over 1,200 meters. So she's clearly going in the right direction, proving that she's not so one-dimensional. Number 1 on the card, War Queen. So big player, but certainly nowhere near as confident as I am with Cullinan Blue and 1 or 2 others earlier in the card. Number 2, Green Flash, bounced back to winning waves, beating In the Ether and no sort of race at Turffontein on Thursday, but still her run to Dreamland is definitely good enough to put her in the play. Number 2, Green Flash. And then number 6, Where's the Party? First run up from Cape Town, first run for Tony Peter. You know what that means. Chase Morjan takes the ride. She's got form in Cape Town that just screams that she's just about ready to win. So if she has taken not much time to acclimatise, get the hang of things, then she could be well set up. She's on the back of a rating drop as well. She was an 80 this time last year. In fact, about 8-9 months ago. Now she's down to a 72. So there's definitely a good case to make for Where's the Party. Added to that, 3 runs back, ran to Great Cat, giving Great Cat weight. And since Great Cat won during the week here in the Western Cape. So Yeah, number 6, Where's the Party, very much alive as well. Big chance. Race that quite a few can win. Just talking about number 7, Red Cherry Lane, just quickly. Her win was good. The way that she ran was awkward, to say the least. I chatted to Sean Tarry straight after the run, said, running in a work riders race, what do we make of that? He said she's a very, very difficult but super talented filly. Let's see how Pilasande and Oli gets on with his daughter Verse and Guest Race, because if she's learnt anything from her first run, she can take a massive stride forward. But first time at Turffontein, there would be a few guys just sort of holding their breath, hoping that she behaves okay.
Now, after 19 races between Hollywoodbets Greyville and Turffontein, race number 10 at Turffontein, if the guys are either well ahead or they're looking to try and get out in race number 10, are you a fan of number 8, Duke of Rock, or have you got another first selection?
Have we saved the hardest race of all 20 for the absolute last, by the way?
Yes, could 100% be.
This is very, very tough. Some of my old favourites are in this race, Sheldon. Some horses that have done me a good favour along the way. Those being 1 COVID Operator, 2 On Cue, and then down the page 9 Kinshasa. Number 10 Stormy Seas was a lovely win on the 16th of March at 25-2 and gets Raymond Danielson on board. I make Duke of Rock a runner, but I think Stormy Seas could end up being the right one here, Sheldon. Back to Turffontein, back to the same course and distance, with the same jockey on board, drawn towards the outside. The handicap has not relieved him after his last 2 runs, but I think he's back to a sweet spot here. And, all 6 of his wins have come over this distance. All 5 of his runners-up have come at this distance, and most of them have been at Turffontein as well. So I think number 10, Stormy Seas, is my very ginger top selection here. Number 2, On Cue, I was all over her last time. I was so disappointed with the run. But like I always say with On Cue, and I knew that we were in a bit of trouble, she can behave poorly on race day, and number 2, On Cue, and she did that last time at the VAR. And when she behaves poorly, she runs no sort of race. So if this was at the VAR and she behaved well, number 2, On Cue, would easily get promoted to my top selection. But the fact that we're at Turffontein just takes a little bit of the gloss off the chances. But with that said, I make her a runner. 1 COVID Operator, you'd swear that he's a 1,200 metre horse, but every time he goes 1,200 metres, he doesn't find the same burst at the end. So he's always going to be a danger. If they go fast enough and gets the gaps, he'll be doing his best work late. 4 Kings Ransom, not out of it, drawn towards the extreme outside. Those runs in Cape Town weren't all that bad. It is a reset. 1,000 metres is going to be a little bit on the short side, but he's doing well at home. So optimistic that he can run into the top 4, although I think everyone will be surprised if he won. So just bear that in mind when going for your trifectas and quartets. 10 Stormy Seas, my selection in the last, but it's a quartet race if ever I've seen one.
Well, as they say in racing terminology, if you are in stormy seas, hopefully number 10 Stormy Seas can weather the storm and come through at around about 8-1. So if you're in a bit of trouble and you're looking for the value, Alistair might have just found the value with number 10 Stormy Seas. Now, Alistair, thanks very much for your guidance. We're going to bring up your suggested bet for the day, and you can take through your selections, please.
Yep, always a pleasure. Thank you, Sheldon. The PA is my suggested bet. Gets underway at 20-1. I've gone 8 and 10 in the first leg, Halcyon and Wild at War, but banker number 10, Oxalis Gold. But with that said, she is no good thing in the race. And I think numbers 7 and 11 are big dangers, but I think she'll run the first 3 all the same. Oxalis Gold. By 1 and 3, Rosario Finale, and 3, Battle of Barberton. By 3 and 4, Arlington Action and Claw in race 6, which will be leg 4. Then I've gone horses in race 7, leg 5. Number 1, Good Queen Best. Top choice number 3, Celestial City. 4, Juries Out, and also number 5, Bonetta. Then banker number 1, Cullinan Blue, close to the best bet on the Turffontein card. And then the final leg of the place accumulator, 1, 2, and 6, War Queen, Green Flash, and Where's the Party?
Well, thanks very much, Alistair, for your guidance, and hopefully all the racing fans around the globe with 2 centres on the go, a feast of racing, and that's Alistair Cohen going 3 selections. Thanks very much to Alistair.
Cheers, Sheldon. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much to Alistair Cohen guiding us through the 10-race program. As we mentioned, a double header, so 20 races for all the racing enthusiasts to take a bite into, and hopefully you as the punter, hopefully at the end of the day, you come out on top.